It was a sunny afternoon, the kind that makes you want to bask in the warmth and forget your worries. I sat beneath the towering oak at the edge of campus, a blanket spread out under me, my English literature textbook lying forgotten at my side, the pages rustling like leaves in a gentle breeze. But there was no peace to be found in the setting. My mind was swirling in a tempest of emotions. I stared blankly at the words on the page, trying to ignore the heaviness settling in my chest. How could Sophie do this to me? I had always seen her as my anchor, the light amidst the chaos of my university life. I thought that our love was impenetrable, the kind immortalized in the lyrics of our favorite indie songs. Yet here I was, nursing a wound that had bled deep into my heart, all because of a moment of weakness, a moment shared with Leah, my best friend. Leah had been my confidant. We met on the first day of freshman year, bonding over our shared love for overpriced coffee and a mutual disdain for the judgment of the upperclassmen. I had thought she would always be my partner in crime, the one who understood me best. Now, every time I closed my eyes, I could see the flash of betrayal in her gaze as she stood too close to Sophie, laughter spilling from her lips like poison. Sophie, I finally murmured to myself, the name feeling foreign on my tongue. I couldn't quite comprehend what had gone so wrong in our carefully crafted lives. With each day that passed since our breakup, the ache in my heart grew heavier, a constant reminder of what I had lost. I couldn't bear the thought of how easily she had cast aside our love, shared as it was with my closest friend. Later that evening, under the dim glow of string lights that draped over our dorm balcony, the tension simmered between Sophie and me. We had just met for the first time since it all fell apart, a month of silence stretching like a brittle chasm between us. Sophie looked beautiful, even under the weight of the guilt that hung only between us. Anna, she began, her voice breaking. No, just stop. My throat was raw, but I refused to let her see how much I had missed her. You don't get to explain, not now, not after. No, she surged forward, desperation etched across her features. I need you to understand. It was a mistake, a stupid, drunken mistake. Leah and I lifted my hand, silencing her. You knew what you were doing. I don't care if you think it was a mistake. You betrayed us. You betrayed me. The words felt like daggers, yet deep down, I was terrified of how easily they slipped from my lips. But I love you. Her voice was frantic now, as if repeating those 3 words would magically undo the damage. I wanted to scream, to throw my heart down in front of her and let her crush it under her heel. Love isn't betrayal, Sophie. Love doesn't sit back and watch someone else take what's yours. I could see the glimmer of tears in her eyes, a familiar spark that melted the walls I had built up around my heart. Anna, please. I've taken so many steps back. I'm sorry. I stayed silent, my mouth a tight line. What was I supposed to say? It felt as if the earth had twisted beneath me, leaving me perched on a cliff with no clear way forward. The nearest realm of safety was miles away. As the summer days slipped lazily away, I clung to my anger. Leah had tried, of course, to reach out. Each text filled with hollow apologies only ignited the flames of betrayal within me. The girl who had once shared every secret with me was now a voice on a screen, full of regret but empty of honesty. It was a night in late September when it all came crashing down. School was in full swing, my classes had ramped up, and the university began to feel like a monster with 1,000 heads. I stumbled upon Leah in the library, surrounded by a fortress of untouched books. She looked up, her eyes widening, as if I were a ghost. Anna, she started, and that singular breath felt like it clung to the edges of her heart. I can't do this, Leah. I felt my strength falter. The anger was a flame I could no longer feed. You were my best friend. You promised to take care of what we had. I know, she whispered, the shame palpable. I messed up. I was weak, and I wish it had never happened. I miss you. Do you? The question slipped from my lips with a biting edge. Do you miss us? Or just the good times? Leah's expression faltered, and suddenly those memories, laughter over coffee, late-night study sessions, shared dreams, flashed before me, colliding with my jagged pain. I miss you, Anna. I messed up so badly, and I'm so sorry. I wanted to yell at her, to inflict the knife I was feeling 1,000 times over. Yet there was a small thread of compassion that held me back, rooted deep within me from our years of friendship. Then let's stop pretending to be okay, I sighed, my resolve wavering. Sophie is different now for me, and I feel as if I've lost a piece of myself. You need to understand it's not just forgiveness you're asking for, it's a choice to rebuild. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. We sat in silence, the weight of unspoken words heavy between us, but something had shifted. I felt we were both lost souls wondering when, or if, we could find our way back. As difficult as it was, I realized that forgiving Sophie and Leah wasn't just about them. It was a step toward healing my own heart. I closed my eyes, imagining a handful of sunlight breaking through clouds. Perhaps forgiveness was a light I could find, a way to let the warmth in, even though I knew my heart would remain fragile, splintered, but still capable of beating. Forgiving them wouldn't erase the past, but maybe it would allow me to reclaim my future. When I opened my eyes, I met Leah's gaze, and though it was pained, it was also filled with an unspoken promise. I can't promise that it'll be easy, I finally whispered, my voice trembling. But if you're committed to working through this with me, then maybe, just maybe, we can find our way back to some version of friendship. Leah nodded, relief washing over her. I glanced at the oak tree that stood proudly outside the library entrance. Even its gnarled branches were a reminder that time would weather us all, but perhaps through forgiveness, we could find healing and a chance for a new beginning. The warmth of the setting sun enveloped me, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a flicker of hope.